Inglewood, California. How you doing today? I must say it's a rainy day, but it's a bright day. And it's going to be a nice show for everybody to love. I hope everybody can respect how we're trying to change as we go along. And you know, I'm from the Green Believers, and Cedric is from the Green Believers. And we find ourselves sometimes trying to figure out how to bring the youth into the community and into the movement. And each day we come up with something new, and each day we find someone creating something special in the neighborhood. So today is one of those great days, and you're going to have a great show with some great pioneers. Pioneers that I never thought I'd have an opportunity to sit with. So hold on, hold tight, and enjoy what we're getting ready to talk about. We're going to welcome a new taste in the text world. We're going to welcome everybody to learn about coding. Dr. Lane and Paul Howes have created something new, a very new movement, and they're trying to bring all the youngsters aboard. And when I say that, they're trying to bring all the youngsters aboard. Dr. Lane got a brand new house on 35th off Maple and Main. It's a great place. I had an opportunity to visit it over the weekend, and the people there, they amazed me with their knowledge of the tech world. And they told me some things that took me back for a moment to realize that you just do not have to play basketball and football and baseball. You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to do any of those things. And my dude, Big Tommy, we were both laughing. We wasn't in disbelief because we done seen so much in our lifetime, because we did so much ourselves at an early age. But now this tech world is lighting up the world, and all our children and their friends play in the tech world. So today, I'm going to let the doctors and Paul House talk about how they want to uplift the neighborhoods, as we've been trying to do with the older people. And when you get finished today, you're going to say, wow, what's going on? But this is not just for young kids. It's for older people. It's for the people who got the will and the ability to open their brain and to think outside the box. So I'm going to stop talking right now. I'm going to let Dr. Lane tell you a little bit more. He's going to introduce himself in a different way. He's going to tell you some things that I don't know about him. But I love the understanding and the conversation that we're going to have today. So Dr. Lane, open this up for me, please.
Great. Happy to be here. Thank you for inviting us out to share our vision that we believe is going to be a movement that will help not only Los Angeles but across the country. My name is Dr. Lance. I'm an economist. I am co-founder with my partner Paul Hiles of the Urban Hip Tech Foundation. The Urban Hip Tech Foundation was founded to create economic and technology opportunities for youth, aged out foster kids, and ex-felons. We believe that technology is the platform to not only communicate better, but be able to create wealth. Every 30 minutes there's a new technology being developed. If you go to school now and you graduate, everything you learn is obsolete. The majority of billionaires now are either part of technology or created technology. So with our platform right here in Los Angeles and South Central, we have created 3 programs. One is Crime to Coding, which is teaching ex-felons about technology and coding. One is for the youth, and one is for age-out foster kids. Both coding and entrepreneurship are a part of our platform, because we believe, especially in reference to returning citizens, if Brothers was running multi-million-dollar organizations, there's no reason to come back and work at Taco Bell. Take those technology and take those entrepreneurial skills and create a platform. So we're very excited to be here today and share our vision. We are looking at an organization that has 500 kids for our blueprint to kick it off. we're also working with a lot of brothers and sisters who've returned who have great influence to make this project work. So again, my partner and I, Paul House here, really want to be able to help the community find the talent, because we believe if you can play the game, you can make the game. And there are some black Mark Zuckerbergs and others out here that we believe are in the hood that we can help move the agenda forward.
That's great. That's great. So not so easy. It sounds good to me, but when you created a house over on 35th and Central out of my hood, you know, I was like overwhelmed because you was there in the neighborhood where I came from.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't get a chance to ask you, what's the special thing that you got in order for that neighborhood for it to grow once again and help all the kids over there?
Yeah, so our agenda is a co-working space where people can come and work and mingle with other entrepreneurs in technology. Some of the other co-working spaces around town, around the country, are called WeWorks, and they're outside of the community. We believe we want to drop right in the hood so people can walk, be a part of this platform in order to move the agenda forward. So we figured that what better place to start in South Central and create coding in the hood and tech in the hood. As you saw on Saturday, we have quite a bit of experts in the tech field, and they're coming in the hood to help us move this agenda forward. So we wanted to come to the hood to be accessible and for people to be able to get a part of it.
I love that. I love that. So Paul,
Yes, sir.
you know, we been around. We just been bumping each other every day, and our journey has been different. And it's a new generation,
Yes, sir.
and the generation need leaders. And what we did in the past, we led other people many years ago, and we led them in a manner that it hurt us and it helped us to understand business in a whole lot of ways. Now the coding is here, and the reentry is here, and I know you dying to get in both of them. So tell me something that you can inspire me to follow your lead.
Well, first of all, Wally, I want to thank you for allowing us to come to your show to get our program or movement into the public. As you know, this project was really launched mentally in Lime Park Prison. As I walked the yard thinking, I knew what I wasn't going to do when I came home. I just wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. And as my 10-year journey in there, I kept hearing about these young 20-year-old kids becoming multi-billionaires. And I felt, if they can do that, I certainly can do it. So I continued reading about technology and how our community really didn't have access to it. So I said maybe that's something that I could do, give our community access. So it wasn't until I came home and had to meet guys like Dr. Lance and Winston Houston, another friend of mine. These brothers was already brilliant in this thing years ago. So we came together collectively, talked about this, and put this program, and figured, hey, we need to be right there in the hood where we all originally came from, and taking this thing to another level. As again, we knew that sometimes it's hundreds of thousands of guys that want to play baseball, basketball, and football, but only a small few of them make that journey into the league. But as I did my homework, I found out this is a venture that you don't have to have no degree, in college degree, to become a multi-millionaire and a billionaire. Most of the guys, billionaires that have these technology companies, they do not have master's degrees or no kind of degree. They just had the will to want to learn about it. Almost everything you could want to know is somewhere on the web that you can find out about it, and just be sincere about it and dedicated about it. So all I would ask for you is to continue allowing us to come on this station here and keep pushing our program and be a part of it with us, because you had a lot of influence in your community when you was home on the street. So that's what I would ask from you and anybody other listeners on the station. Make Urban Hip Tech a movement.
Well, Paul, I'm going to tell you, this is a movement. It's a movement in two fronts. We are ex-offenders, and we know what's right and we know what's wrong. And today, as we travel down this, today as we travel down this road, we also have to look out for the people who've been gone all these years.
Absolutely.
And like yourself, you've been doing a whole lot of reading, and they've been doing a lot of reading too. And as someone stated, where we was the other day, they made this statement that was clear to me. Only thing you got to do is want it. And if you want anything in life, you can have it. Like, I'm going to sit here and say this. I know you want to be in the tech world, but also you want to be in the reentry world.
Absolutely.
Because you want to help the brothers who coming home so they can be able to jump in this circle, so they can be multimillionaires without picking up a gun or picking up any dope. I understand all of this because I'm a part of this movement, and I hope I can be a part of you guys' movement to carry this torch where it's supposed to go to, because I never want to see a young kid in jail again. No. If they have the opportunity to sit back and sit behind a desk or play with a computer and make it work, I think they don't even need to rap. They just need to make sure they tech kids. And when you're a tech kid, there's so many opening and doors that's open to you, and it helps you open your brain so you can understand you never have to pick up a gun to hurt another black man again in America. So I understand where we at. I understand what we need, and I still come back to, I need you brothers to help the other brothers who coming home from reentry so they can feel comfortable the same way you was feeling comfortable when you were picking up those books, reading them, so you can open your mind, open your thought pattern, and analyze and break down why other people is billionaires and we were just regular millionaires, but now we have an opportunity to be billionaires in the tech world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so one of the areas you just mentioned, it was gaming, and that we tell the kids if you can play the game, you can make the game. And so one of our areas of expertise or focus is gaming. A lot of people don't know what's happening in the gaming world. There are 2 billion people globally that are playing the gaming side. Only 1% that's professional. The gaming industry now is bigger than sports and entertainment collectively. And so if you see your kids playing on this, we have partnered with the Black Gamers Association in order to create games that could true life experiences. So part of that game created could be part of going to prison and coming out, that world, but also changing over into the existing market. So we're really excited about the whole gaming industry. And there are now scholarships to go to college for gaming, just as sports is concerned. A lot of people don't know that. They're doing full rides of playing games because it makes revenue for the college. So not only is Urban Hip Tech Foundation creating programs, but we do deep research and sharing with the community what are the opportunities out here and what the youth, what ex-felons can be a part of. Because not only do we want to just teach you coding, but what are the trends, what are the opportunities? A lot of people don't know that LA has Silicon Beach right now. A lot of people have come from Silicon Valley here to entertainment to be able to partner. So again, we want to share with the community what are the trends, what are the opportunities, so you can be ahead of the curve. Everybody has the same 24 hours. Therefore, creativity becomes an economic indicator. We're the most creative on the planet. So we're making sure that we are giving information through our research department to the urban community to understand what the trends are, how you can go to a boot camp in 6 weeks, how you can come out and make $50,000 to $100,000, and have those skill sets that you can use all around the world.
Man, I love it. I love everything you said. Now, Sticks. Man, you've been around the block also. In your early years, you know, they said, why do you know Sticks? I said, no, but I'm going to know Sticks. No doubt about it. Because Sticks is Sticks, and he do a whole lot of great things for the neighborhood. He feed the homeless. He's part of the LA Clippers. He's part of the music industry. He's want to make the whole industry hip for some other strange reason. And if he can make that industry hip, it's going to be something great going to happen. So what can I say? He's in the business of being in the business, and he's dealing with many different hats. And he's in Watts, and he helped lifting Watts back up where Watts should always be at the top. So Sticks, tell me, what's your next move?
Right. So for those who are unfamiliar, and I'm very humble to say I still got a long way to go, you know, and a lot more people to meet and a lot more things to accomplish. My name is, everybody refer to me as Sticks, born and raised in Watts, California. My background is in entertainment as a musician, songwriter, producer, responsible for developing, you know, an artist named Iggy Azalea and a list of other artists. I've also toured with Snoop Dogg twice, and, you know, TDE, Top Dog, J-Rock, all of them. So what I did as I got older, I used my platform to try and bring attention and awareness to a community that has been forgotten about, which it shouldn't be forgotten about, because for those who have any kind of idea of history, Watts during the second migration received the largest influx of African Americans in, United States history.
Yes.
So the population went from roughly around 26,000 to 233,000. And we can talk music history, we can talk economic history, we could talk any different things. Watts is a hub of development, right, in regards to African American culture on the West Coast. But moving forward, I digress back to the original. I've been able to use my platform to create my own 501c3 nonprofit foundation, and we've done everything from feeding low-income residents, homeless. We do teachers essentials, where every year, twice a year, we give teachers, whiteboards and printer paper and things, because teachers got to spend their own money on their equipment and tools they need to teach our babies, to teach us.
Okay.
So I want to help them alleviate that financial strain, because a lot of these teachers don't really make any kind of money.
Yes.
They're making a living, but they're not making any type of wealth unless they know what to do with their money. And their statistics shows that 8 out of 10 teachers are not acquiring any wealth. Moving forward, we also do rental assistance, utility bill relief program, where I literally take donations and grants and I pay for people's rent that live in housing projects in Watts, that live in low income housing in Watts. We also do financial literacy. I created what's called the Watts curriculum. The W stands for wealth. The wealth makes reference to financial literacy, educating individuals on money management, credit building, and introduction to stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. The A stands for arts, which is music, graphic design, and how to create your own clothes using DTG machines, embroidery machines, silk screen, heat press, etc. The T stands for tech, which is coding. We're educating kids on Python, Java, and C++, the core coding languages that are used by YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram, all of the social media and extracurricular programs that we typically spend the most time on. Those languages are heavily used, so we educate individuals in these neighborhoods on what that is and how to code. We bring in additional partners to teach coding classes for that. The other T stands for training. I have a partnership with the Los Angeles Clippers, the LA Rams, the LAFC, which is the soccer team.
Okay.
Also, I have the Dodgers. I just recently closed a deal with the Dodgers. So first, on the music side, I complete what we will call a theme song for the team, right? And we shoot a music video and we focus it around something, maybe a marketing thing that they got going on, and we launch that and we blow it up to generate the awareness on our community programming, in which we use to do like the food drives. And we actually have a job training program where we can train you for about 8 to 10 weeks in sales. You don't need a college degree to do sales at all. You just not need to have that fire and just want to be able to convince somebody to take what it is you're selling.
Okay.
And then all of these sports teams have agreed to hire after 10 weeks applicants. They don't have to take no tests. They don't have to sit in front of no HR, fill out no resume. These are barriers that have been put in place to help limit us in our abilities, based on preconditioning and trauma and all of these other effects that affect our people in the community. I've convinced them I can give you an assessment based on a conversation with somebody, based on how they're tapped and tuned into this program when they're sitting in front of the lesson, sitting in the lessons. That person is ready to work. Okay. And then they have agreed to hire X amount of people.
That's great. Great.
And then S, the last S in Watts, is for sports. I've created the first black / whatever we want to call it, African American focused youth soccer club that is partnered with LAFC and Angel City, the two major professional soccer teams in Los Angeles. They are partnered with my organization to develop kids 4 to 11, and by the time they turn to the age 12, they have an opportunity to transition right into professional soccer.
That's great, Stick. That's great. Now, that's what I call working hard.
Oh man!
And you only 38.
38. And last but not least, reentry. My sister went to the feds for quite some time, and when she got out, she had this passion because as soon as she got out, the first couple years, it was tough for her.
Yeah.
And she was like, "There's not a lot of programming or resources that help me find a job or help." No one really cares when you talk about programming in regards to the reentry or recidivism or all of these different terms that we use in regards to what we're talking about, right? Yeah. So I said, let's partner together, man, and all of these tools that financial literacy and life skills and all of these entrepreneurship, teaching you how to start a business and all of that we do, why don't we bring that together and equip a lot of these individuals who are ready to really do something with their self, just give them the tools, and I bet you they can excel on their own. And we also have a subsidiary focus on helping them find housing. What I tend to do is all of these wealthy individuals that's in entertainment or that's in the TV and film space or who talk all of that talk like they help people in the neighborhood and help people in the hood. Well, I make them put their money where their mouth is. I'm like, I found some land over here in Lancaster or Palmdale or wherever, Los Angeles. Let's buy this land and let's develop housing strictly focused on reentry population. Individuals who may even have a job but can't afford to pay rent no more because it's so expensive out here. So why don't we, low-income housing, go to LASA or all these other agencies that's siphoning all kind of money in the hood from the government and make them give us this money to help house these people so they can go get these jobs. And last but not least, I wanted to say this because this is what I'm very passionate about. I'm going to be one of the people who are responsible for implementing financial literacy in LAUSD, all schools in LAUSD. Literally in conversations as we speak, I've already developed the curriculum, the outline of what it looks like. It's going to be teaching money management, an introduction. It starts in the 8th grade, completes after you graduate from your senior year, and it starts with money management and goes all the way to credit, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, how to start a business, buying and selling real estate, and it's a cumulative of all of those different lessons.
That's great.
So,
That's great.
I appreciate it.
Now, I brought another expert, a subject matter expert from the Green Believers. A whole lot of people say the Green Believers is about cannabis, and it is true. But the Green Believers is always also about the community. We do technical assistance, we do all the other little things, but the most important part of our lives, because most of us is ex-offenders. And I brought the president of the 70 million active network along with me. His name is Cedric Former. And in the process, he done been on a couple billion dollar companies board. And he only been home like me for a few years. And he jumped those hurdles. And he made everybody understand when he did his essay, and the whole company just stood up and clapped and put him right on the top of the board and said he's never going nowhere again. Cedric Former, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cedric Former, and like Brother Whitey was saying, I am the lead organizer for the Ex-Offender Action Network, and also 70 Million Votes, as Whitey and I are working on. I've been working in the community for over 40 years now. I founded my first organization, co-founded in 1981, Youth Outreach Organization. It was a youth diversion program, so we took the kids on field trips to expose them to things outside the neighborhood, summer jobs programs, talent shows, and things of this nature. So at some point, I did go in. I got out in 2012 after doing 10 years. And I got right back into community work. Since then, this time it's been reentry. So I started off doing the resource fairs, where you bring vendors into a room and you invite all the people from halfway houses and so on and so forth. But that's been eliminated due to COVID. So right now we're planning a virtual resource fair where we can do everything virtually at the halfway houses and everybody else who wants to participate. In 2017, due to some work we did with the RAND Corporation, we did a prisoner study. It's called experience-based co-design. So usually what happens is people who don't know what prisoners are, what ex-offenders need, they make the rules. Mm-hmm. So in this particular program, experience-based co-design, the returning citizens were the experts in what they needed. And we co-designed with the people who actually are the city vendors and the different organizations. So that was published in 2019. So that's an international publication. We've also been published in another international publication for experience-based co-design. So right now what we're doing what's called a pre-needs assessment. So even before a brother gets out, because before I got out, I had a cool counselor, and she called the Department of Rehabilitation and a few other things. So I already had appointments set up for when I got out, because the way I see it, when a person gets out, there's a window, and that window starts to close. If they don't get the resources that they need, and that window closes, you go back to what you know. Mm-hmm. So before the brother or sister even gets out, we write them, and they write us back, what you gonna need? I'm gonna need a place to stay, I'm gonna need a job, I'm gonna need clothes, and so on and so forth. And we can make appointments with these different agencies that can have everything lined up for them ready so they can hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. I don't have to think about what I'm gonna do, I already have a plan. Mm-hmm. So we don't wanna wait till they get out, we start before they get out, and the coding would be excellent, okay, because a lot of folks don't know what they're gonna do, and they go back into the traditional things. They get a job that's not a living wage. So like Brother Sticks was saying, you make enough to pay the rent and go to the movies once a month, but you can't accumulate any wealth. So we want people to be in a position financially where they can buy a home and generate some generational wealth and teach their children the same thing. So everything Brother Sticks was saying was good. So that's what we're doing at the Ex-Offender Action Network now. So as far as 70 million votes is concerned, we are looking there. It's estimated there's over 70 million people who have been affected by the criminal justice system around the country. So we want to mobilize that group, because a lot of elections locally and nationally are decided by a very small margin. Mm-hmm. So we want to mobilize those people and let them know that if you're on probation, you can vote. Mm-hmm. And once you get off parole, you can register to vote. So we want to exercise that voting power. We want to educate folks on the different politicians, different measures, and so on and so forth. We want them to be able to make an informed choice when they walk into the ballot box, into the ballot booth. So these are some of the things we're doing over at 70 million votes. We have the website is coming up, but right now we're going to be asking for a donation of $1. $1. If you want to donate more, you can. You can go to lametrochurches.org, and our website, it'll pop up, and you can make a donation to it, and it'll go to 70 million votes. And what we're looking to do is further our programming for ex-offenders, returning citizens. Every Tuesday, Whitey and I, we were at a halfway house yesterday, and we're doing a program called Healing for Health, and we do different sessions, and we have different topics so we can kickstart folks thinking. Okay, so yesterday was realistic expectations. So we talked about not overestimating or not having these high expectations, and when you're not able to achieve it, you get disappointed, you might get depressed, and you might recidivate. So we have a number of things: anger management, healthy relationships, and so on and so forth. So we're doing this to kickstart the thinking. We want to keep it on these men's mind that these things are what you're going to face once you get out, because at some point you're going to have to hit the street. Your time is going to be up in the halfway house. What are you going to do when you get out? So from there, like I said, we're planning some virtual resource fairs. I just talked to one of our associates this morning, and we're going to go to the different halfway houses. We're going to get vendors from different places, and coding would be excellent. Okay, you'll be able to we'll go around and give everybody your handout. So when you do your presentation virtually, they can see you and they can read your material as well, like that. So it's about reskilling people, because those traditional jobs are going, and they're going rapidly. There is where 50 people were, now it's going to be some robots, and the person who knows how to fix the robots, who knows how to program the robots, are the ones who are going to get hired. All right, so we're trying to impress upon people, you know, these traditional jobs are vastly becoming obsolete. It's, you know, an education is great, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't get an education insofar as college is concerned, but there are a lot of people with degrees who can't find a job. There are a lot of people with degrees who are not even working in the field they got the degree in because they just needed work. So, but if you are paying attention to what's really going on, coding is the wave of the future. And, you know, I tell folks, you know, plumbers make good money. Construction folks make good money. And these are different fields that you don't need a degree. You can get in 2 years you can be this, you know, you can be qualified. So the same thing with coding. Coding doesn't take that long to learn, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Camp 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Ooh,
Now,
that's
so
enough.
yeah, so right now we're looking to get people reskilled for those jobs in the future.
Awesome.
Because once you know how to do it in the coding, you can, like you were saying, you can get a job quickly, 50, 100. I saw them for $125,000, $150,000 a year.
Sure.
It's really good money. And I see the kids. They go to work in their flip flops and shorts.
Leave the house.
They are, and they're sitting there on the computer and they having food brought to them or whatever else they want, making good money from home, or at an office building. Before COVID, I see them at the office building. So yeah, all that's good. And I'm looking to work with all of you.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking
That's
to work
what
with all
I
of you.
see here. I see a lot of good
Okay,
synergy
Paul.
here.
Yeah.
This is you now, because Mike got to get, Tommy got to come on new, but now this is your turn to tell me something new. Yes, you, Paul. It's your turn to tell me something great that you're going to do with this coding.
Well, first of all, I see a lot of synergy between the three companies that we hear right here, because what we all trying to do is change young people and people coming home, change their mind thought, come and change their lives. So there's a lot of synergy here. I want us to continue talking and swap each other's number and have a meeting and see how we can make this thing work.
We're going to merge all this together.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
This right here is
We
the
all
mission.
need each other.
Yeah. This the mission. This the mission that we talked about at Roscoe's that day. This is the mission that we are on as black people. And it's time for black people to merge themselves with each other. And once you merge yourself with each other, you find that understanding. And you find what you've been seeking for a very long time. Peace, quiet, and having your children doing everything right instead of doing everything wrong. This is what we're all about. We ain't about anything different from that. And I love all you brothers for coming out.
Same here. Thank you.
One thing I want to say, I've always said everything that black people need, they already have, but except unity. If we unite, we got brilliant minds, we have everything we need, we just need to unite. And I'm telling you, the three of us here, we're going to unite, and we're going to meet some others that's in this field, and we're going to all unite, because it's heavy lifting, and we can't do it all by ourselves, but together we can make it happen.
I agree. I want to say, I had a conversation the other day with an elder of mine. His name is Tim Watkins.
Yeah.
Part of the Watkins family in Watts. Very powerful, well-known
Absolutely.
family since the 60s. Ted Watkins, obviously, is the prominent name, and then his family took over from there. And me and Tim, the first time me and Tim had a conversation, it didn't go well. And his son, Tim Watkins Jr., he's like, Dad, you need to talk to Sticks, because anytime you say Watts, as far as my generation, Sticks' name come up. So, Dad, you need to talk to him, right? And we got on the phone, and the first thing he was like, look, everything you doing, I done already did. And so it made my energy go, well, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say then, because I'm doing what you say that you already did.
Yeah.
So how can we? But you know what what I'm happy about is I didn't stop at just that.
No.
I said, I put my ego aside.
Yes.
And I think ego first of all, ego is a memory of your past accomplishments, right?
Yes.
Yesterday don't even exist no more.
Don't count.
Tomorrow don't even exist.
Because you only found the day.
Exactly. The only thing that exists is right now.
Yes.
So because of that mantra and that concept, I said, I'm not going to stop at that, because I need more people to come together in order to execute what we ultimately are trying to execute, and that's to uplift our people.
That's it.
Yes.
And you cannot do young, elders, babies, older, whatever terms we want to use. One person, 10 people cannot do it. 20, you need groups to come together. Like they say, it takes a village. And so me and Tim connected again because I found out that he was big on the environment, right? He has this thing called the Better Watts Initiative, and that's focusing on clean air and water. For those who don't know, Watts has a history of lead poisoning in the water. It's causing birth defects and autism and all kind of things, and it's been going on for years. And I so happen to have a relationship with Jaden Smith, which is Will Smith's son, his nonprofit organization. Because of the work that my nonprofit does, they connected, and we brought a water box to Watts that pumps 10,000 gallons every 10 minutes of fresh water, removes all lead, toxins, anything from the water. Right?
That's great.
And so I parked it. Guess where I parked it at?
Next to his office.
On his site.
Yeah.
I said, I'm bringing this water box to you, Tim, because I need you to have this, because of what you've done and your family has done for this community, and the type of people you continue to serve. I need to align myself with you because I want to do what you have already done. Yeah, I'm doing what you've done already, but I want to continue to do what you already have done and are continuing to do, and I can learn so much. So I say that story to say, as collectives, as people, we have to be willing to learn from each other.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And Tim told me, he said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I done been backstabbed and people done try to infiltrate. You know, when you a black man and you got something as big as this type of organization, you know, governments and all kind of people, they infiltrate and they try to shut you down. He said, so I didn't know where you was coming from. I hear everybody talking about you and you popped up so fast. I'm like, something ain't right about this. So I had my guard up. However, when you continue to show who you really were, and I only could hear nothing but great things about you, I said, let me see what this young brother is talking about. And after that, now we're like accomplishing more than we ever could have believed, and now we have access. Now there's like property and classrooms and theaters and all kind of stuff that is a museum. It's like we came together and brought our resources, and I'm like, dang, imagine if all of these your organization, and our organization, and all his organization. Imagine if all those came together, what kind of impact we could make, not only in the community, but in the nation.
Yes, sir.
Say, Sticks,
You know?
do you know how hard I've been working since I came home? Brother Tommy looked at me and said, what you going to do? I said, I'm going to build up the community. I'm going to put a podcast where the brothers, they're going to wake up one day and they're going to say, Whitey, you got an avenue to reach the people. I said, when that time comes, I'm going to bring all the brothers in here and tell them, look, it's too late to be warned. It's only time for us to put all this stuff together and make something big and make the whole world just take a deep breath and say, how is it possible these black brothers who came home knew the right direction to take? And my direction will always be with the people, because I want to make sure the people have what they need. And if this right here is what you guys need, this right here is what you're going to get. Because this is the outreach to the world. And every Wednesday, I'm going to be right here.
Yes, sir.
And you guys are going to sit back and you're going to set a date on my calendar. And I'm looking at my calendar and say, okay, you in that slot. Stick, that's just like you in that slot. When you in that slot, the million man, the 50 million people, the 100 million people, they're going to start hearing about these slots. And they're going to come and hear what we got to say. And right now, we're talking about their children.
Yes.
And there's a whole lot of black people don't talk about nobody's children.
Man.
They only talk about what they want.
Mm-hmm.
It's how
Real
7
quick,
million people work.
one of the things Brother Stick said was he put his ego aside.
And that's what we got to do.
In this movement, it's a movement. In this movement, there's no big me, little you. All right, it's all us. And when we start thinking like that, we can accomplish a lot. There's a game that's been played on us for years,
Yes, sir.
and what they did is divide and conquer. They put a little bit of pie in the middle and said, "Oh, y'all got to fight for it." All right, and that means if I'm gonna eat, I gotta beat you. All right, like that. So that's the game that's been played on us. And once you understand the game that's been played, you can go around it, because collectively we have more than that game. Okay, because like you said, Doctor, we're creative.
Yes, sir.
All right, math. I mean, you give me the tools, I can come up with all kind of stuff.
No question.
All right,
Yes, sir.
so that's where we're at. So we're going to continue to work together.
That's good. Now, Doc,
Yes.
I like everything you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Let's not even fake this. I'm a dude who don't care nothing about money anymore.
Okay.
Because I had a lot of money in my lifetime.
Yes, sir.
I did a whole lot of things, good and bad.
Yes, sir.
And I made a whole lot of millionaires in America.
Yes, sir.
But those millionaires don't mean nothing to the kids.
Understand?
Because if you can put the kids in a position, you're
Yes.
going to make a whole lot of
Yes,
millionaires.
yes, yes.
And that's what I'm looking forward for you guys to do, Paul. I'm looking forward for you guys to do this. That's why I'm sitting here saying this wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Man, come aboard, do what you need to do. Let me know. You know, let Tommy know.
Yes.
Tommy's gonna say,
Yeah.
Whitey, I need you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, Tommy, you got me, because this part of your organization also, because we ex-offenders and we got to look out for each other, because nobody else gonna look out for us. So
I like to share just a couple of quick stories, because the more people see someone who looks like them, they get inspired. So you mentioned celebrities. A lot of people don't know that Nas is deep in the tech game, has invested in over 20 tech firms.
Yep.
The brother that even graduated from 8th grade has really amassed not only a fortune, but has been able to penetrate the tech world. Another brother by the name of Trevor Brooks, who went to prison for murder, he got out on good behavior. He wanted to get unregistered guns off the street. So he didn't know anything about technology. He created a platform with some tech experts called Gun Bail that you get out of jail for a non-violent offense for $100 if you turn in an unregistered gun. Amazon heard about the brother. They gave him engineers, and so now he's created his own COVID app. So he shows you what can happen. Then lastly,
Wow.
on the youth side, got a guy named Jalen Bledsoe. Jalen came to the microphone and said, "I'm 17 years old. I'm the same age my parents were when they had me. However, I got $3 million in revenue. I got 120 subcontractors. If you look on my page, I'm a paid nerd on Facebook." So we want to be able to show examples to get other youth and ex-felons inspired, because brothers and sisters are doing it. We want to put the same concept and praise that we do in sports and entertainment on those techies that are doing it. So we got tons of stories like that, and want to be inspiring the kids to do that, because we believe that in the hood you have some strong brothers and sisters that just need the access to the resources and the planning, because we are the most creative on the planet. We are the original man. It's nothing that we can't do and create. It's just having that access. And so when you mention hackathon, we definitely want to partner with you
Right.
on that. Bring them in the room, come up with a concept, and create ideas and things, especially right now with this whole Black Lives Matter, and companies are supposedly saying they're trying, 100 million, whatever. We believe that we have the next generation of the ideas of technology. We want to be able to promote that in the hood.
I believe all of that, and again, the Green Believers believe in this tech thing. We give out grants and whatever we can to make sure that the kids get to school. And when we do that little thing at USC, we bring them up, and man, we like first place gonna get 1,500. It's come out of my pocket. I don't have much no more, but it's come out of my pocket. And as long as we can give the kids some inspiration to go forward and attack the world in this tech world, because
Sure.
I want to see all of them in the tech world.
Yes.
I look at everybody. I don't know nothing about technology, but I can play in the game because I got a little common sense. And if we can keep on helping each other out here and do the right thing to bring all ourselves together, and the rest of the army, because it's an army. We got a whole lot of army of tech people.
Yes.
And if we could bring them and put them in this place right here and have this conversation every week, we can keep on dealing, and re-entry always going to be in here.
Yes.
It's always going to be marijuana in here because there's so many of us smoke marijuana. So ain't no need us to lie about it. And we trying to make sure that white America don't have control of America and the marijuana system. And we really want to make sure that our children can possibly have control of this tech world in some kind of way because they smart enough to do it. And we learned over this year that a whole lot of white parents sending their kids to school, but they paying for their certificate. And our black kids is busting their ass to get what they supposed to have. And as long as you brothers keep on spitting like this, those young kids gonna understand that they got a Sticks out here, they got a Power Halls, they got a Lane, they got a Cedric, they got somebody who's there to push them. And if you guys let me navigate this road, I'm gonna do this every week, and I'm gonna help somebody understand that the door is not closed. So, Paul, give me something.
Unity. That's the most powerful word, I think. Today is unite all of us who got something to offer. Be courageous enough to come here on Wednesdays and share it. And you can believe, just like we caught it, they'll catch it, and we'll catch it, and we'll move with it.
Yeah, we believe that tech is sexy, and we they got to make it hip as everything else. I actually did a TED talk on African American technology, and I start off saying that I'm a nerd with swag. You know, being smart and hip is cool, so you have to let the kids know that. You can pull up in the Bentley back doing their tech game, the same thing, the swag and everything that nature. So we want to push that movement out there, and nothing's wrong with making money. So you can be cool, hip, and tech.
Well, said, give me something quick. These brothers popping at you.
Well, real quick, we gotta let the kids know it's cool to be smart.
Yes.
All right. A lot of times in the neighborhood, when you're a smart kid, they want to dummy you down because the schools dummy our kids down.
Yes, sir.
Our kids are smart, and they come out below average after they go to school. So we want to let them know that it's cool to be smart.
Yes, sir.
That's one of the larger things.
Well, that's Sticks, right? Sticks got to write about this. I'm putting him on the spot again. You got to do some writing about this. Tell somebody how cool this is for this tech game because I'm trying to see it.
I mean, if you like to amass a large amount of wealth, then you might want to consider adding tech to that portfolio.
That's right.
Because I mean, it's interesting that you brought up Nas, and it's a few other individuals that I've been, favored by the Most High to meet.
Awesome.
And Nas, his business partners, Anthony Saleh, and there's Troy Carter is a mentor in the music business that kind of he was the first person right before I got married. And I'm gonna say this too. Shoot, it's all right to get married as a black man and take care, and because they try to teach us that you ain't cool if you take care of your kids and you married and you faithful and all. Like they say that's crazy. Like you crazy if you doing that. Like they really tell you that.
That's what they tell you guys.
Oh man. So that's why I went on my social media. I try to show I'm one of the flyest dudes in the room, and I got my kids and my wife all on. My wife bad. I don't care what nobody. You know what I mean? But
talk that talk, baby.
Moving forward, so Troy Carter say. Troy Carter say, he told me, yo man, you want to know the key to a good marriage? I say, what's that? He say, learn how to do this. And so that's the kind of relationship we have, right? But more importantly, Troy Carter, I'm gonna name a couple of things: Uber, Dropbox, Spotify. The list goes on and on. The investments that he made in tech. And here's another thing too, that let's just say you can't find that thing inside of you that wants to physically code it, right? Invest in it. Say, I like what that's doing. It serves a purpose. I'm gonna throw a couple dollars at it. You ain't got to have a whole lot of money to throw something at it, because if you catch it early enough, when it's just an idea and a concept, the value that it increases to after a certain amount of time, we looking at more millionaires just by throwing a few dollars at
I hear you, baby. Now, I'm going to touch on something so you don't have a misunderstanding. When I was a young dude, and I had a lot of paper, history said I had a lot of paper, right? I was married at 18 because my mom told me, look, you got to be responsible for something. You might well be responsible for your family because you're responsible for these streets and you taking care of them. So why you can't take care of your family? And once I started taking care of my family, I started understanding the world much better. And when I looked at about Paul, I said, man, you know what you're supposed to do? You got to be responsible. And when I looked at Dave and Harry and Tommy, you got to be responsible. And when a man is responsible, a man take care of a lot of people because he knows he don't want to lose his family and their family at all. So each day that I walk right now, I said the only reason why I'm not a billionaire, because they took me off the street. They kidnapped me and forfeited my life to them. But I like everything you young brothers is doing because you guys moving in the right direction. You understanding. If all the rest of these little brothers can learn about the corporate world, man, we're going to be beautiful. And this is what we're getting ready to teach them. The economy of the world travels through us because we are the one persons, the one people who spend all of our cash.
Man, African Americans, $2 trillion in spending power every single year. They try to tell us that we're the minority. It's less of us in America, but we spend the most money and we make, and you say our income is the lowest out of everybody. So anybody that know 1 + 1 = 2 can tell you that don't make sense.
So it's like the doctor said. He said something the other day to me. He said, if you want the brothers to do right, convince the brothers to do right.
Man.
And he said, I deal in economy also. And if we can work the economy wagon and bring it full circle back to us, for us to understand these young black brothers who standing in front of us, who telling you that the tech world make $100,000 just by accident for waking up and some flip-flops. Do you think I'm not going to tell my older brothers that, hey man, to make $100,000, all you got to do is pick up the computer and find one of those young dudes and put them on the side, and you're going to get $100,000 a year easily.
Easy.
On flip-flops. So I'm just piggybacking what the doctor's saying, and the doctor may want to say something on that because I don't have that much time left.
I love giving stats. So again, as I mentioned earlier, that we have Silicon Beach here.
Yeah.
5 brothers came from Detroit. They couldn't raise any money in Detroit. They came here, and because of the esports side, has raised $100 million. 27-year-old, right? Also, in reference to valuation, Clubhouse is now still in beta. Is $1 billion valuation, and 75% of black folks are on there. So we know how to do it. We just got to own it. In my TED Talk, I talked about 1944, Clarksville, Mississippi, the first mechanical cotton picking machine was developed. That technology wiped out thousands of jobs. And every time there's a new technology developed, if we own labor, we lose. We got to step ahead of the curve and own it. We are the creative people. We can own it. We just got to make tech sexy.
Paul, I got a minute, baby. You got a minute? Because I'm getting ready to close down.
For you.
For us. For us, Paul, baby.
That's
For
right.
us. No disrespect. Love you like a brother.
For us.
You. It's on you. You got a minute. Close us out.
I say this. I want to salute everyone here
Same here, brother.
today because I want y'all to know y'all are legends to me and my generation, right? Without you knowing, if it's 10 young brothers that's listening, somebody is going to leave there looking up to y'all.
That's right.
Like, you can ask Vern is like somebody I look up to, right?
Yeah.
And a while ago, I would talk to Vern about all of the people who, I grew up in Watts, so I know everybody who was in the streets, right?
Yeah.
Who was doing their thing. Like, Vern was like, Whitey, man, and I did my research.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man, I can't wait to meet him, man. Like, because of your entrepreneurial mindset.
Yes, sir.
Your concept of what a business is and how you started. Jay-Z saying a rap, I made a bunch of millionaires. Like, he say that in his rap. Like,
Yeah.
the Dame made $1 million, Beans made $1 million, Cam made $1 million, all of that's you. What y'all are doing with tech, what you're doing with re-entry. My sister, like I said, she worked for the, I don't know if it's the same thing, and I'd be mistaken, the Ex-Offender Network or something.
Ex-Offender Action Network.
So her name is Monty Anderson.
I know Monty.
That's my blood sister.
Yeah, I know Monty. Yeah.
That's who laced me.
She's one of the founders.
That's who laced me
Yeah,
on
she's
everything.
one of our founders.
About reentry.
She's over at Hopix right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So Hopix, Lhasa, all of that, I learned that from her.
Right.
You know what I mean? So y'all, I look up to y'all. So I salute y'all. Continue to do everything that y'all doing, and I guarantee you, you're changing the world around you without even knowing that you're changing the world around you.
Say, give me a minute, baby.
Yeah, well, what I want to say real quick is my motivation right now is that I'm getting older, and there are so many forces that are against us. We have to be with each other to ensure the survival of our children. So that's my motivation every day. I want to get up, I want to work hard to make sure those little black and brown children have a future, because America has always been on our neck.
Sure.
All right? So if we don't, like Martin Luther King said, if we don't live together as brothers, we will perish together as fools.
Doctor, give me a minute so I can get ready to get out of here.
It's very simple. It was said in the early 1900s when they went to Harriet Tubman. They said, "You freed 1,000 slaves." She said, "I would have freed 1,000 more if they knew they were slaves."
Right.
So we have the empowerment through collective unity to take this tech game and make it happen. Tech is sexy. Let's make some billions and help our people.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this, brothers. This has been a nice journey for me. It made me humble. It made me understand that the brothers in this room is powerful in their thoughts. And I deal with Genghis Khan a lot. I must say I do. And Genghis Khan did something different from all the other assassins in the world. He assassinated China and took their foot off his neck.
Yes, sir.
He told his crew, "Come with me, and I'll set all of us free, and we'll eat, and the world will be ours." So here we are looking at each other saying, how can we divide the world up amongst us? There's a whole lot of black people in America.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like Genghis in a whole lot of ways. I need them to be took away from us, get their feet off our neck, and let us profit like they've been taking advantage of us. And we just got to make sure that when we do these things, that all the brothers in America can eat every single day. Be good, be safe. I'll see you Wednesday. Love you, and take care. Whitey out.